Welcome to the Grow Renaissance podcast. Let's nourish the world.
Welcome to this community update. I am Will Taylor. The purpose of this episode and this version of the show is to give an update of what's happening inside of the Grow community, some of the things that we are working on with Grow United to continue to grow the relevancy and the growth of the Grow blockchain. And one of the first exciting updates is events and collaborations with those events. So we have built an amazing digital community in a digital world, and our goal is to start bringing that community together. And this started with Neil, who many of you know from other episodes of this podcast. He started an event in Louisiana last month that was really successful in bringing about 47 community members, new community members together, and also added a lot of new node owners, people that came in, bought node software licenses and started running them and joined the mission of Grow, which is to nourish the world. I always like to plug that this is a community. Our goal is to build a decentralized community based on the Grow blockchain to nourish the world in whatever way that may be, from the soils, from the atmospheres, to the animals, the plants, and ultimately us as the humans and stewards of the planet. And anything that we can do to nourish it, regenerate it, make it more sustainable, make it an amazing present for all of us, and also an even better future for whatever is to come. And so what we've done with those events is we're starting to add them. Right now we have them monthly all over the United States. We currently have one coming up actually here in 3 days in Puerto Rico. We partnered in this event with Connect United and the amazing Connect community who has helped grow the blockchain, grow users on it, node owners, token holders, and amazing projects that have come in and built with us. And so the goal of these events is to bring us together, to put us shoulder to shoulder, be able to talk, to communicate, to start looking at what the future holds of how we can all be participants on the blockchain. And so those events will start to be listed in the Discord. We will have a specific channel that will be dedicated to the upcoming events, who they are for, what they're for. And as we play with the structure of those, we'll start to teach how that's working, what we find working, because the end goal is that as a community, we can start holding grow-related events to be able to give updates, to talk about ways we can build projects on the blockchain and the ways that we can add more and more utility. Our next event will be May 9th in New York City. This is a very small event. There will only be about 40 people there. Much of it has been an invite only up to this point. And the goal of this event is to particularly launch some of our emerging projects. And so we have some exciting opportunities opening up in South America, particularly in the cattle industry in South America, of how can we put that data on chain, be able to start helping track and trace where food products are coming out of South America. And so we have a very large group that's coming in to focus with us on that in New York City. And that leads us into what some of you have already heard us talk about, which is the Happy Cattle NFT. And so in a previous episode, I went through all of the NFTs and what those are. So if you haven't listened to that episode and you're curious of what NFTs are, how we look at them here at the Grow blockchain, that's a really good episode to go and look at. But the Happy Cattle NFT specifically is about how we can take a real world asset, which is a cow, be able to track that in the digital world. So RWA, real world asset, tracking it in the digital world in an immutable way, and also have it be decentralized. And so you take the data of a cow, you create that NFT of the cow in the digital world, and then you allow the community to come in and take different actions on that. You can fund the cow, you can partner with a farmer and connect with that cow, help raise that cow, feed that cow, take it to a certain hang weight, and then turn it into food and either take it to yourself, put it on your own table, or you can help them sell it to somebody else. So there's a lot of different ways that we're doing that. Right now, the timeline and the update on the Happy Cattle NFT, and this is tied to the Animal NFT for those of you that currently hold those in your wallets, is by the end of May. So we are going to launch that. We are in alpha testing right now with 2 different farms and looking at bringing on a third. to alpha test everything that we have, go through the process, make sure that it works, tie data to specific cattle, walk it through the process, and we will be soft launching that at our May 9th event in New York City, which will be very exciting. That same structure will also lead us into what we're doing in the credit market. So how are we creating NFTs that are specific to carbon credits, and how do we allow us as a community to participate in that? So the biggest update for us as a community, and how can we participate in this? How can we spread the word? Over the next 30 days, we will finish at Grow United the alpha testing of the tokenomics, the economics, how do we partner the data, how do we cache that data, how do we transfer it, how do we partner with the oracles that are giving that data, how do we verify that data. We are working on all of those processes so that we can do a full and complete synopsis of it with Neil and I and our partner farms in a complete episode. But the goal right now is soft launch that on May 9th to that community who already knows some of what it's working on, and many of them are our first partners in it. Two, if all of that goes well, be able to bring it to the community so that as a community first, we can go in and actually be the first ones to partner with farms that are currently raising cattle, willing to work on the blockchain, tokenize those assets, put them on chain, and be able to connect and transfer them, raise them, and choose what to do with them. So that is exciting updates. And the reason that that's exciting for us is the entire goal of the blockchain has always been utility driven. The first goal of getting to a blockchain in any sense is having true decentralization and having a core foundational community that believes in what we're doing. And we've done that. So if we go back to when we launched in January 16th of 2024 to now, we've added thousands and thousands of community members. And when I say community members, I mean wallet holders, either on the Ethereum network or on our native blockchain, but also node owners, people that are willing to give their hard-earned money to run the software that the blockchain is built on, and then move that to more and more decentralization. So the more people that we get on that, the more people that we have active on it, the more decentralized we become. So those are exciting utility updates that are coming, and we have worked very hard on those. It's actually been about a 8-month process, looking at the farms, collecting data, building out the process, and we actually have our first white paper completed. It's going through some legal tune-ups to make sure that we do everything in the right way. And as soon as that's done, we'll be able to post that in Discord, and you as a community will be the first eyeballs on that white paper, which will then lead to an official white paper on the carbon credit program based on how we run our action-based NFTs on chain. The other updates, we are getting ready to have our first vote. So many of you have seen inside of your Grow accounts the voting mechanism that is there. You've also been to the charter website, or you've gone through the DGF for the Grow blockchain, and you've read about voting. Our governance framework is one of the backbones that the blockchain is built off of. It's key to having decentralization is having the community vote on what happens on the blockchain. And so we have several voting proposals that have been on the docket to be able to come to the community. And one of those is to create a battery. And what a battery will be is a portion of nodes that have been purchased and donated back to the community at large to be able to use those tokens and those funds as that creates value in the market for things that benefit the blockchain as voted on by the community. And so that vote is currently also going through some legal approvals to make sure that it meets all of the DGF standards to then come to the community for a vote. So be on the lookout for that here in the next 30 days of May. Other updates that we are excited for as you look at the growth of the blockchain, particularly as you look at what's happening on a macro scale in the world. So over the last 3 weeks, we've seen the crypto market go down. We're starting to see it climb back up. So if you follow just the transaction volume on Bitcoin and the price of Bitcoin, it's currently sitting somewhere around $93,000, climbing back up with a lot of positive momentum. We are here, we believe, and I believe that this year we will see a lot more positive momentum with one of the asset classes that the macro world is looking at as a whole is real world assets tracked on chain. And so our biggest focus at Grow United right now is nailing down the utility of our products that digitize real world assets and create real utility on the chain. And so that's what we're focused on day in and day out so that we can bring that utility. What we can all continue to focus on is a continued growth of the chain. And I want to give specifics of what that means. Right now, what that means is we look to get listed on more exchanges, to get more exposure for the blockchain. That comes with momentum of growth of the community. And so as we share our Grow account, when you get in your Grow account, the very first button in the middle of the screen is share. You can share a referral link. You can share that. You can have somebody set up a Grow account. Those numbers continue to grow. As those continue to grow, we will get more and more attention from different listing exchanges, more people wanting to come into the network in whatever way that they see fit. And that's what we want to see. We want to see growth. As energy comes in, energy grows. And so as we go out, as we share these podcasts with others, as we share the updates, and we continue to grow, more and more good energy can come in to our network and what we're doing. So there's some quick updates for you. We're deep in planning for this event. We'll post some of the updates on Discord. Many of you will see this before this is actually posted. And then if anybody listening to this is interested in coming to the event on May 9th in New York City, please reach out to us on Discord with your interest, and we will see if we have any space. As I said earlier, it's pretty small. We're only having about 50 people there. And right now we're almost to that capacity. What we want to make sure that as a community, if there's anyone that should be in that kind of fits in with what that event is set for, please reach out to us. We'd love to have you there. And thanks everyone for being what I am now referring to as a Renaissance worker. You've heard me talk about the name of this podcast. The goal of the Renaissance is for all of us to work together, to come together, to bring the best, to match tradition with technology, bring it all together. We're much, much better. The bigger we get, the more people we have, the more open we become. And so be a Renaissance worker, help us nourish the world, help us do it on a transparent blockchain, and let's nourish the world. Thank you, everyone. Those are the updates for this week, and we'll continue to do this episode. I will jump on. We'll give specific updates of what we're working on, of the things of the past, and keep everyone in the community updated in quick, brief episodes that you can listen to every week.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Grow Renaissance podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe this episode. Remember, it will take a community of us to do the best in the world and truly nourish not only ourselves, but the planet, the atmosphere, the soil, the plants, and the animals on it. So make sure you spread this message anywhere that you can.